what does it mean to put America first? Many believe America is defined by our economic and military might. But America is more than that. It's a physical place with people who share common history, traditions, and culture. So how can we really be America first if our economy is putting American workers last? In the raging debate over the expansion of H-1B visa programs, Donald Trump's DOGE generals, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, insist these work visas are essential for tech companies to succeed. Now, these are competitive men, and I believe them when they say they just want America to win the global game against our adversaries. The question is, what is your definition of winning? And at whose expense should the game be played? The H-1B policy was created to bring the best and the brightest to America and address labor shortages in specialized fields. It's an argument that industry leaders have been making for years.
Now we face a critical shortage of scientific talent. And there's only one way to solve that crisis today. Open our doors to highly talented scientists and engineers who want to live, work, and pay taxes here.
On paper, that sounds like a noble cause, but in practice, it's been wildly abused and it undercuts American workers in tech jobs that no one can credibly argue that Americans don't want to do. Who can forget what happened at Disney when IT workers were laid off en masse and forced to retrain their foreign replacements?
I walked into a small conference room with about 24 highly respected fellow IT workers. The Disney executive made a harsh announcement to us all. All of you in this room will be losing your jobs in the next 90 days. Your jobs have been given over to a foreign workforce. In the meantime, you will be training your replacements until your jobs are 100% transferred over to them. And if you do not cooperate, you will not receive any severance pay.
Americans aren't opposed to bringing in more geniuses like Elon Musk, but let's not kid ourselves into believing Disney's replacements were all budding Einsteins. These workers are willing to put up with lower pay, longer hours, and overall worse conditions, unable to leave their jobs without risking deportation because they want to become citizens and bring their families over through chain migration. These companies are creating a permanent underclass of foreign workers. It's a rigged game designed to create cheap labor and make it impossible for American citizens to compete. This has been a problem for decades, and despite our leaders getting directly called out about it, they refuse to take action.
My husband has an engineering degree with over 10 years of experience, and he was laid off 3 years ago and has yet to find a permanent job in his field. My question to you is, why does the government continue to issue and extend H-1B visas when there are tons of Americans, just like my husband, with no job?
What industry tells me is that they don't have enough highly skilled engineers. If your husband's in that field, then we should get his resume, and I'll forward it to some of these companies that are telling me they can't find enough engineers in this field.
Why do you think that the H-1B program is so popular with big corporations?
Good question. Obama's good at seeming compassionate, but when he left office, H-1B visas were at a record high. In his ex-post, Vivek Ramaswamy argues that the problem isn't mass immigration, but American culture itself. We need these foreign workers, he says, because our culture has, quote, venerated mediocrity for decades. We celebrate the prom queen over the math champ, the jock over the valedictorian. It's a convenient theory, but one that misses the mark entirely. American culture isn't the issue. It's the destruction of it that's at the core of the problem. American culture gave the world electricity, airplanes, cars, Elvis, the internet, Rocky Balboa, and Star Wars. What we're witnessing now isn't the failure of American culture, but the deliberate erosion of it. A demoralization campaign fueled by decades of mass immigration and an education system poisoned by cultural Marxism, a foreign and utterly un-American ideology. Dissing prom queens and promoting America Last visa policies won't restore our greatness. It's a distraction from the real issue, the dismantling of our national identity, the takeover of our schools by communists, and the devaluation of our labor. Sadly, we're replacing American goodness with godlessness. Some of MAGA's newest members envision a cold tech and corporate future for us, one that fails to appreciate the humanity and vulnerability of our own citizens. Secularism, transhumanism, and AI will never satisfy the soul. America needs God, family, love, and a return to real, not virtual relationships. According to the Constitution, we were promised a government that would provide for the common defense, promote general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty for the people. America is not a sports team, and winning in the stock market is not my definition of success for America. America First is not a slogan. It's a guiding principle. MAGA is about honoring our history and our Christian values. It's about protecting our people, our families, and our way of life.